Hello and welcome back to the Delta Analysis video. Today's the Toxicroak, which is a pure fire type, which is honestly defensively pretty good. It gets boots this generation, so it does take a quarter of its HP on stealth rocks, and also other hazards are ignored. Um, it's overall fire is a good typing overall, but generally speaking, it's not. I don't think fire is a necessary type, but it does have like a few cool things that it can do. It resists fairy, it resists grass, bug. Um, I think that's it. But fire itself and steel, it actually resists quite a few types. So it's not. It's a good typing. Um, its stats are a little underwhelming. At least defensively, it's very frail. 83 HP is good, but then 65 defense is just not very good at all. 106 attack, pretty strong. 86 special attack, not as strong, but it's not physically impressive or especially impressive, but it can hit decently hard. Although you should not expect this thing to break, especially on the special side. Don't expect this thing to break that much. Although I don't know the calcs, and it does have a very powerful move. Um, and 85 speed is like meh. It's a good scarf tier, kind of, but it's not incredibly fast, or it's not. It's a bit middling. Yeah, it's not very fast, but it can make it work. It doesn't need that much speed. Sometimes it does, but not always. So its abilities are really why it's not terrible. It gets magma armor, blaze, and hustle. Magma armor means you can't get frozen. You don't run it. Blaze, under a third HP, your fire type moves do 50% more damage, but especially hustle. Your all your physical moves do 50% more damage, but they are significantly less accurate. I'm not entirely sure what the percentage is, but it's significantly. I think it's like 80% of the regular accuracy. So if you go for Earthquake, there's a 20% chance it misses. If you go for like a Stone Edge, which is naturally like 75% accurate, you've like a 50% chance to hit it. 55 or something like that. It's not gonna be very useful if you're gonna miss half the time. Although you do a shit ton of damage, which is a good thing. Um, some relevant moves. It does get some setup. Gets Sword Stance and Hone Class for setup. Sword Stance is generally speaking better, but Hone Class does help a lot with the hustle miss chance because it basically nullifies it for everything that's like nearly 100% accurate. Like I think 95 and 100 become 100 again with hustle and home class, but everything below it still has like a small chance to miss, or like a slightly smaller chance to miss than normal. I'm not sure about the math here, but it can help. You hit more. Um, Stealth rock setup setup hazards. It can do it. You don't usually want to do it, but it can do it. Flame charge, I put it here because you don't really have much, and flame charge can actually be kind of cool for speed boosting. Although, if you're gonna get 2 turns to set up with this thing with like a home class and a flame charge, then yeah, I don't know what your opponent did because this thing is very frail and it should not get 2 setup turns. Um, Pain split, it's healing, but you don't really want to heal. No call for moves items, pretty good move. Sucker Punch priority, also pretty good move. And allow us to burn things. You could run it. It's not gonna live very long, but you could run it, I guess. The first set is not actually the best set because yeah, the second set is like the set you will run 90% of the time. But it could run special with. You're gonna be scarfed though. You're gonna be 100%. You're gonna be scarfed with eruption, and you're just gonna click eruption as much as you can at 100 full HP. So yeah, and if you can click eruption, you have some coverage, but not much. You get Earth Power Sludge Bomb as main coverage, then you probably just run better Fire Stab in case you're not at full HP, like Fire Blast and Overheat. Um, you could run some support moves, hazards, ancient powers, and hyper voice like coverage, which doesn't really matter. Sucker punch priority, although your special can still be useful. Toxic Willow status, do whatever you want with the status. You just run these four moves 90% of the time if you're gonna be this niche set to begin with. And obviously you're gonna be Blaze because the other abilities don't help you unless you get frozen, in which case, oh well, you tried. Um, this set doesn't have a move that actually thaws you, so I think Flare Blitz thaws you. I don't know if I have any other move that thaws you. I think Scald does, but besides that, I don't know. The second set, which is a physical set, which is significantly better due to Hustle and the superior physical attack set. Sword Dance slash Hornclaws, it depends on how lucky you're feeling, basically. If you're feeling very lucky, just go Sword Dance. If you don't, go Hornclaws. That's basically the reasoning behind which one you pick. Flare Blitz, very very strong. This thing hits so hard, but Hustle Flare Blitz is actually insane. Sucker Punch priority because you're not very fast, but you can like pick off faster things with Hustle. Sucker Punch could do a ton of damage. Earthquake, good coverage. Thunder Punch, also good coverage. Earthquake hits with like rock types. Thunder Punch helps with water types. You don't really hit dragons very hard. Earthquake also hits with the boasting fire types. But dragon is like kind of annoying to deal with because you don't get any moves to hit them super effectively. You get knockoff move items as I said before. Low kick, superpower, fighting step can also help with rock types. Stone Edge, if you're really thinking you're gonna be lucky. If you're feeling really lucky, go Stone Edge. Otherwise, I would, generally speaking, not suggest going for Stone Edge because it's like actually 50% accurate. Rock Slide, also a rock type option. I generally speaking wouldn't run either of these because you don't really need to, but you could if you really wanted to. Like for flying types, I just run Thunder Punch because it hits most of the time. What else does rock help with? Ice doesn't really help. Bug doesn't really help. Fire doesn't really help. You have Earthquake. So yeah, I don't really see the point of running rock moves, but it's an option. Accessor can help with like dark types, I guess, and psychic types, but you have knockoff. Stealth Rock Willow is support. Fire Lash is like a cool alternative because it is 100% accurate. Well, Flare Blitz is too, but you could also run like Blaze Kick or something or Fire Punch. But it's stronger than Fire Punch and more accurate than Blaze Kick, and it guarantees drops defense, which means that most things can't actually switch into Fire Lash very well. Because if they take a Fire Lash, then they're -1 defense. Then like if it wasn't neutral at least, if it was neutral, you probably get 2 KO'd. But if it wasn't neutral, was resisted, then you have coverage to hit to like kill them anyway. So Fire Dash could be really good. And Explosion, I'm not sure how this thing gets Explosion, but Hustle boosted Explosion scares me a lot, and that's why it's here. Because that genuinely just kills everything it does that doesn't resist it. Especially after a home class, you just die. Like I don't know the calc, and I'm too lazy to actually calc it, but I'm just gonna assume that things drop pretty quickly to a hostile boosted explosion, especially at +1 when it actually also can't miss. So yeah, that's still the Toxicroak. It's not the most impressive, but it's absolutely terrifying in theory because of Hustle. Hustle is such a scary ability from both perspectives. Like using it, it's terrifying. Facing it, it's terrifying. I'm not a huge fan of it. Hustle as an ability. I've never used Duran. I've never used like Rufflet in Little Cup. What else could Hustle? I have no idea. I don't really know what can Hustle. I don't run the ability because it's so risky and I don't like it. I'm not very lucky. Sometimes I'm lucky, but when it comes to Pokemon, I'm not very lucky. Um, So yeah, that's Delta Toxicroak. Decent mon, good fire type, good offensive mon, but it's gonna be more on the cheaper side, but it can actually put in a lot of work. Um, Depending on your luck, it can put in a lot of work. So yeah, next up is another fire type, Delta. What is fully evolved? Scolabead, Delta Scolabead, and that thing is genuinely kind of cool because I like it a lot. It's really cool. So see y'all then. Goodbye.